Our next presenter, Ms. Yang Wen-Si, is a third-year PhD research student at the National Institute of Education, Singapore. She is also a fellow of the Register of Educational Therapists Asia, RETA, and a member of International Society on Early Intervention. She is going to present her research on do nursery rhymes benefit children with learning disabilities and what studies show. Her presentation is about how nursery rhymes have the potential in fostering learning and development. Yeah, here we go.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Today my topic is do nursery rhymes benefit children with learning disabilities? What studies show? Nursery rhymes can trace to early 18th centuries. Since then, generation of young children grow up on these rhymes in their homes and schools. In Singapore, I think nearly every kindergarten, preschool, childcare, or early intervention center, they more or less integrate nursery rhymes into their daily activities. But the development of teaching nursery rhymes with young children with learning disabilities is still not clear on the literature. So that is the focus of my topic. So I want to know what's the other evidence-based evidence and research that shows whether nursery rhymes can benefit children with learning disabilities or not. So my presentation will have 5 parts. In the research background, I will give you guys a little bit background information about learning disabilities and nursery rhymes. The research framework, I will introduce some basic theories based on the literature embedded in the using of nursery rhymes, especially with young children. And I will introduce the research methodologies. That means why I choose narrative research as my research methodology. And in the results part, I will share with you guys what I have found is useful for using nursery rhymes with young children. And in the discussion part, I will share 2 parts. One is how to use. The other one is the research gap need us to further investigate. So based on the literature, learning disabilities include many different neuropsychological or neurobiological impairments or difficulties. They are not a single condition, and they affect one or more types of domain of development and learning. In other words, learning disabilities is a general category which includes so many types of disorders. And the learning disabilities range from mild to moderate to severe, and a child can have a number of different types of disorders of them in different areas at different level of severity. Moreover, learning disabilities and learning difficulties, actually they are meaning the same thing. They can use interchangeable in the UK systems. And long ago, they diagnosed young children with learning disabilities purely based on the IQ test. But nowadays, they changed their assessment method. So in addition to IQ test, they assess their functioning skills, how they can cope with their daily lives. So what are the nursery rhymes? Similar like learning disabilities, nursery rhymes also is a broad category which have so many types of poems under the nursery rhymes. For example, we have lullabies, infant amusement, rhyming alphabets, songs, street cries, riddles, proverbs, religious poetry, verses about historical figures, counting out routines. Its short definition is just a short poem or song. So the 2 research questions of my research synthesis is, what kind of influence could nursery rhyme have? Why are nursery rhymes so important in both early childhood education and special ed education area? So some of the early childhood professionals, for example, Madam Fox, in her book, Magic Reading, she wrote, if children know 8 nursery rhymes by heart, By the time they are 4 years old, they are usually among the best readers by the time they are 8. In 2011, Dr. Haber wrote in his research paper, he agreed with Fox. He wrote that the use of nursery rhymes with young children promotes positive attitudes towards language learning and helps children to build awareness of sound patterns in language. Although a lot of early childhood and special ed professionals, they emphasize the importance of the using nursery rhymes with young children. However, based on several surveys and the public media, nowadays parents, they don't think nursery rhymes is still important. In a survey conducted by 2,500 UK parents by Book Trust in 2009, around 15% tell parents they think nursery rhymes are too old-fashioned and the nursery rhymes were not educational. Moreover, 25% of these huge sample size parents, they believe they never sung a nursery rhyme to their children. And only 36% of the parents, they regularly sung the nursery rhymes. So that's maybe people have busy lives, and many feel that they do not have the time to spend to teaching rhymes to their children, which is especially true with parents with young children with learning disabilities. There are so many other early intervention demands they need to face on their daily lives. So sometimes nursery rhymes are just being neglected, or they even don't have time to play with their children. So nursery rhymes, the Pubhost framework is that nursery rhyme can benefit young children across all their developmental domains, which include communication, cognitive, social, emotional, and physical. So during a child's seemingly normal developmental child development, so there are 4 categories of causes that may induce learning disabilities to happen. So the first category is antenatal, that means before birth, during the pregnancy. So the mother may have other medical issues or genetic biological issues that will influence the development of the child. And the mother may be alcoholic and may have drug use. All these factors will influence the child's development. The second category is during the birth, the perinatal period. So there are a lot of complicated delivery process and low birth weight, head injury during the delivery, or can induce learning disabilities in future. The third category is after birth, the postnatal period. During a child's development, there may be injury, maybe other illness, maybe have the environment factors such as neglect or physical abuse by the parents or harsh punishment. This will influence the child's development too. Then the fourth category is they integrate all the first 1, 2, 3 categories. So all the factors since pregnancy until their early childhood will influence and will induce the child to have learning disabilities. However, the causes and the diagnosis of learning disabilities based on the literature is the least understood learning disabilities, and the diagnosis process is under controversy. So, as I just mentioned, a child's development can be both as nurture and as nature. This picture shows is more nurture factors. This picture shows that more nature factors. The nurture includes the environmental factors, the early stimulation activities we conduct to the young children. The nature part includes the illness, the genetic or biological factors of a child during the development. So similar to a normal child development, for a child with learning disabilities, his or her development is also a mix of both nature and nurture factors. So I want to find out what the ideas can work for our future practice. So I examples empirical, conceptual, and practical studies. So I analyze their methodology, data collection method, and their findings and arguments. So I choose narrative synthesis as my research method. Why I choose narrative synthesis? Because there is a lack of research focused on using nursery rhymes with young children, both in early childhood area and in special ed area. And the criteria, which include peer-reviewed journal articles and studies discuss related use nursery rhymes with children with learning disabilities. I use 3 strings of keywords to conduct the database search. The first string of keywords focus on children, which may include kids, preschooler, infant, toddler, young children. The second string of keyword is include the nursery rhymes and the types of different nursery rhymes. The third string of keywords related to learning disabilities and the types and disorders and learning disabilities. As a result, I only find handful available research in the literature through the 20+ database. So in addition of this, I conduct the descendancy method to try to get more research for me to review. So as a result, nursery rhymes actually can benefit young children with learning disabilities across their developmental domains. So nursery rhymes have the beneficial effects on language development of young children with learning disabilities. Researchers demonstrate that introducing nursery rhyme can be a useful way to help them improve their language skills. Nursery rhymes covers all the area of language that lead to school readiness. For example, research shows that nursery rhymes can cover the expressive language, which means their oral language skills, the receptive language, which means their listening skill, basic reading skills, and reading comprehension. All the parts of speech and practiced in various nursery rhymes and the melodic flow of language is enjoyable for young children. I just give you guys an example. So by saying Sally go around the sun, Sally might go under, over, through, or around the sun. So we can change the preposition words of Sally go around the sun. We also can change the name Sally to that child's best friend's name, family member's name. We also can change the verb go to jump, sit. So that's how the nursery rhymes can cover all the areas of language that lead to school readiness. So many of the rhymes encourage young children to move. These nursery rhymes facilitate young children gain muscle strength and gradually develop their motor skills, fine motor skill, and coordination skills. I just give you guys an example: head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I have a body and the finger families. We can play like this. So that is a kind of fine motor skills and a gross motor skills. Fine motor skills means how we manipulate our fingers. Then later how we hold a pen to write. Gross motor skills means how we use our arms and our legs. And coordination skills means how we balance ourselves. So there are some research shows that nursery rhymes can benefit their gross motor skills also. Regarding to social emotional skills and the social emotional domain, there are two parts. The first part is focus on the child's own personality building and their behavioral management, their soothing skills. The other part focus on the bonding relationship, the bonding with their caregivers, the bonding relationships with their teachers. For example, Pet a Cake is a good nursery rhymes to play with between the caregivers and the young children. And here we go, Looby Loo is a small circle group activities which can play with a group of young children sit in a circle, then to invite all the young children feel confidence to join the social groups. So master nursery rhymes help develop children's skills of thinking, information processing, problem solving, remember, decision making, understand concepts, and overall intelligence too. For example, 5 little monkeys, 10 fat sausages sizzling on the pan can focus to stimulate young children's concept of mass, of size, weight, and number. So if we want to integrate nursery rhymes as an early intervention approach into our daily practice, how we start? We start here. We can start from the top 10 popular nursery rhymes. Because these are popular, most of us know the lyrics of the rhymes, so it's easy for us to just conduct a quick Google search to find the ideas and the activities. There are plenty of the activities related to these 10 popular nursery rhymes online. After you have finished all your nursery rhymes, how we do? So what is the next step? We can learn new nursery rhymes. We can choose from the least popular nursery rhymes, and we can invent our own activities. So we can listen to the nursery rhymes regularly. We can borrow the material from local library. We can read nursery rhymes regularly. For example, we can conduct big book sharing reading with our young children. Then the internet, we can go to YouTube. Here I want to highlight, have you ever observed on a train or in a restaurant, the parent just put the handphone in front of the children, then just show the nursery rhyme in front of them? We are not recommended of that kind of activities because it's a one-way stimulation. But if you are the one who sing and interact with the children, is two-way interaction. That will help your children to get more skills and be more functioning in their life. And the bonding is slowly built upon them. So you also can have your own lesson plan. Maybe you cannot see it clearly, but this is just a sample. You can design your own one. So embedding nursery rhymes into routines of young children with learning disability based on the literature can result in increased development across various domains. But I want to advocate nursery rhymes. If us as educators, we refuse to include the nursery rhyme into the daily activity or routines of the young children, they will lose a lot of opportunities to learn, to explore. So this is my reference list. Due to the limitation of the space of these slides, this is just a partial of my reference. For the full list, please future refer to my full paper. Thanks. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to approach me after presentation. Thank you for your attention.